Welcome back to Tales of the Dark. This happened in late November, just a few weeks before winter fully set in. At the time, I had just started driving for Uber as a side job. I worked a normal 9 to 5 during the day, but nights were when I tried to make extra money. Most of my rides were completely normal, people heading home from work, college students going out, or drunk passengers needing a safe ride back. But there was one night, one ride that made me question everything about doing this job alone. It started like any other shift. I logged into the app around 9:30 p.m. The weather was cold but not freezing yet. There was a light fog settling over parts of the city, especially near the outskirts. The kind of fog that doesn't block your vision completely, but just enough to make everything feel distant, quiet, wrong. For the first couple of hours, everything was normal, short rides, good tips, nothing unusual. Then, around 11:47 p.m., I got a request. It immediately stood out. The pickup location wasn't in the city. It was way out near an industrial area, old warehouses, empty lots, and long stretches of road with barely any lighting. I hesitated for a second. Usually rides out there weren't worth it. Long drive, low chance of getting another request nearby, but the fare was higher than usual, and I figured it's just one ride, so I accepted it. The drive there took about 15 minutes. The farther I got from the city, the quieter everything became. Streetlights got fewer, buildings disappeared. Eventually it was just road, darkness and fog. My headlights cut through it, but not very far. It felt like I was driving into nothing. When I got close to the pickup point, something felt off. There were no houses, no businesses open, just an old warehouse building half lit by a flickering light above a rusted metal door. I slowed the car, checked the app again. This was the location. I pulled up slowly and parked near the entrance. Then I waited. A minute passed, nothing, no movement, no person. I checked the app again. The ride was still active. I was about to cancel when my phone buzzed. A message from the rider. "I'm outside." I frowned. I was literally staring at the only entrance. No one was there. Then I saw movement, not from the door, from the side of the building. A figure stepped out from the shadows. He walked slowly toward my car, tall, thin. Wearing a dark jacket and a hood pulled low over his face. Something about the way he moved felt wrong. Not drunk, not injured, just slow, controlled, like he wasn't in a hurry at all. He opened the back door and got in without saying anything. The door shut quietly. For a few seconds, neither of us spoke. Then I said, "Hey, your rider name?" He didn't answer immediately. Then in a low voice he said, "Drive." That was it, no greeting, no confirmation, just drive. I glanced at the app. The destination was already set. Another location even farther out, not back toward the city, but deeper into the outskirts. I hesitated, then I started driving. The first few minutes were silent, uncomfortably silent. I tried making small talk. "Late night out here, huh?" No response. I looked at him in the rearview mirror. I couldn't see his face clearly. The hood covered most of it, but I could see his eyes. He wasn't looking out the window. He wasn't on his phone. He was staring straight ahead at me. I quickly looked back at the road. Something felt off, really off. Passengers don't just sit there like that. No movement, no sound, just watching. About 5 minutes into the drive, he finally spoke. "You drive this area often?" His voice was calm, too calm. I said, "Not really, mostly in the city." He nodded slightly, then said, "That's good." Something about the way he said it made my stomach tighten. I asked, "Why is that?" He didn't answer right away. Then he said, "Because people go missing out here." I laughed a little, nervous laugh. "Yeah, I guess it's pretty quiet." He didn't laugh, didn't react. He just said, "Not quiet, empty." The fog outside was getting thicker. Streetlights were almost gone now. The only light came from my headlights and the dashboard. I checked the route again, still heading farther out. No buildings, no houses, just long stretches of road surrounded by trees. Then my phone buzzed again. Another ride request. Same area, same pickup spot. My heart skipped. That didn't make sense. I already had a passenger from there. I ignored it, focused on the road, but something in my gut started screaming. Something wasn't right. Then the man spoke again. "Do you always accept every ride?" I swallowed. "Not always." He leaned forward slightly, close enough that I could feel his presence behind me. "Good," he said, then quieter, "because tonight you shouldn't have." My hands tightened on the steering wheel. I didn't respond. I just kept driving, trying to stay calm, trying not to overreact. Then suddenly he said, "Stop the car." My heart started pounding. I looked at the road. We were in the middle of nowhere, no buildings, no lights, nothing. I said, "This isn't the drop-off yet." He leaned closer, close enough that I could feel his breath near my ear. And then he whispered. I said, "Stop the car." Everything in me screamed, "Don't do it." but something about his tone, something cold, final, made me slow down. I pulled over. The car came to a stop, the engine idled quietly. Fog surrounded us on all sides. For a moment there was complete silence. Then he said something that made my blood run cold. "Turn off the headlights." I froze. Why? He didn't raise his voice, didn't get aggressive. He just said, "Because I don't want them to see us." My heart started racing. "Who?" He didn't answer. Instead, he slowly reached forward and placed something cold against the back of my seat. I didn't need to see it. I knew exactly what it was. And then he whispered, "Now turn them off." I didn't move. For a few seconds I just sat there gripping the steering wheel, staring straight ahead into the fog as if something might suddenly appear in front of us. The cold pressure behind my seat didn't go away. If anything, it pressed in slightly harder, not enough to hurt, just enough to remind me it was there. Real, controlled, waiting. My voice came out lower than I expected. All right, all right." Slowly I reached forward and turned off the headlights. Darkness swallowed everything. Not the kind of darkness you get in the city. This was different. This was complete, total, the kind where your eyes don't adjust because there's nothing to adjust to. No light, no shapes, just black. The only thing visible now was the faint glow of my dashboard. And in the rearview mirror, the outline of him, still sitting there, still watching. I tried to listen. At first I thought I heard nothing, then very faintly something in the distance. Movement, not a car, not an animal, something else. Crunching, leaves, slow, deliberate footsteps. My chest tightened. "They're already close," he whispered. My brain tried to process it. He leaned closer again, so close I could feel his breath against the side of my neck. "There are things out here," he said quietly. "Things that watch the road and wait for people who don't belong." I didn't respond. I couldn't. Every instinct in my body was screaming that this wasn't normal. This wasn't a prank. This wasn't a drunk passenger. Something was very wrong. The footsteps got louder, not fast, not rushing, just approaching. Then I heard something else, a second set. From the opposite side, my hands started shaking. "Listen," I said quickly, trying to keep my voice steady. "If this is some kind of joke, shhh." That single sound shut me up instantly. The footsteps stopped right outside the car, complete silence, then a soft tap. On the passenger side window, I flinched, hard. My head snapped slightly toward the sound, but I couldn't see anything, just darkness. Another tap, this time slower, dragging slightly against the glass. My breathing got heavier. I tried to keep it quiet, tried not to panic. Then something pressed against the window. Not a hand, not fully, more like a shape, close enough to block what little fog-filtered light there was. I whispered, "What is that?" The man behind me didn't answer right away. Then he said something that made my stomach drop even further. "Don't look directly at it." That made no sense. Why? Because if it knows you see it, it won't leave. My pulse was pounding in my ears now. I kept my eyes forward, didn't move, didn't breathe too loud. Then another sound, this time from my side. A slow, scraping noise, like fingernails dragging across the driver's side window. I clenched my jaw, every muscle in my body locked up. Two of them, there were two of them. The car suddenly felt too small, too exposed, like a thin shell between me and whatever was out there. Then the man behind me said, "They don't like light." I swallowed hard. What does that mean? He shifted slightly. For the first time I heard fabric move, then a quiet click. A faint beam of light appeared, not from my car, from behind me. I glanced in the mirror. He was holding a small flashlight, pointed down, not at the windows, not at me, just ready. "They're curious," he said. "They test first." As if on cue, something hit the side of the car, not hard, just a bump, then another. From the back, my breath caught in my throat. "They're circling us. Don't panic," he said calmly. "That's when people make mistakes." I almost laughed. Panic was already there, fully. Then the door handle on the passenger side moved, slowly. It didn't open, but it moved. I couldn't stop myself. I turned my head slightly, just enough to see a shape. Right outside the window, close, too close. It didn't look like a person, not clearly, too tall, too thin. The proportions felt wrong. I snapped my head forward immediately, heart racing out of control. "I told you not to look," the man said quietly. "I barely did, doesn't matter." Silence again, heavy, pressing in from all sides. Then suddenly the man behind me said, "Start the car." I blinked. "What, now?" I didn't hesitate this time. I turned the key. The engine roared to life. Immediately something hit the back of the car. Hard, I flinched, gripping the wheel tighter. What the hell was that? "Go." I slammed my foot on the gas. The car lurched forward. Behind us I heard movement, fast, not walking anymore, running. I glanced in the mirror. For a split second I thought I saw something chasing us, but it didn't look right. The way it moved, too fast, too low, then too tall, like it couldn't decide what shape it was supposed to be. I looked back at the road. My heart was pounding so hard it hurt. "Don't slow down," he said. "I'm not." Then he added something that made everything worse. "They follow for a while." My grip tightened even more. "How long?" He didn't answer. Instead, he turned his flashlight slightly toward the back window, and in that brief reflection I saw it. Something in the road behind us, keeping pace, and it wasn't alone. I forced my eyes back onto the road. Whatever I saw in that reflection, I didn't want to confirm it. Because if I did, if I really looked, then it would be real, and something in my gut told me I wasn't ready for that. The car sped through the fog, tires humming against the pavement, the engine louder now that everything else was silent, but not completely silent, because behind us, I could still hear them, not clearly, not like normal footsteps, but something keeping pace, a rhythm that didn't belong on a road. "They shouldn't be this fast," I muttered under my breath. The man in the back didn't respond immediately. Then he said, calm as ever, "They're not running." That made my chest tighten even more. "Then what are they doing?" A pause. "Then they're matching you." I didn't respond. I couldn't, because that made it worse, much worse. I pressed harder on the gas. The speedometer climbed, 60, 70, 80. The road ahead was barely visible now, fog thick, darkness endless. Every turn felt like it could send me off into nothing. "Slow down," I almost snapped. "What, you just told me to go?" "Not like this," he said. "If you crash, it won't matter anymore." My breathing was uneven now, sharp, fast, but I eased off the gas just slightly. Then the car shook. Something hit the back again, harder this time. I flinched so badly the wheel jerked. The car swerved slightly before I corrected it. What the hell was that? "They're getting closer." My hands started shaking again. No, that's not possible. "We're moving. They don't move like we do." That sentence stuck in my head over and over. I risked another glance in the mirror just for a second, and I saw it again. This time clearer. There was something on the road behind us. Long limbs, too long, bent at angles that didn't look right. And its head was tilted, completely sideways, like it was watching us from a different angle than it should have been. Then it disappeared. Not like it fell back, not like it stopped. It just wasn't there anymore. I blinked hard. "What? Where did it go?" "Don't look for it." My voice cracked slightly. "Why not?" "Because it's not behind us anymore." My entire body went cold. I slowly turned my eyes forward. The fog ahead looked different, thicker, heavier, like something was inside it. And then I saw movement. Something crossed the road ahead, fast, too fast to make out clearly. I slammed the brakes instinctively. The car screeched slightly, slowing down hard. "Don't stop." He snapped. I didn't. Something just. Another shape moved, this time closer, right at the edge of the headlights, tall, thin, standing still, blocking the road. I froze. My foot hovered between the brake and the gas. "What do I do?" I asked. "Drive." "That's not a person." "I know." My chest tightened. "I'm not hitting that thing. It wants you to stop." The shape didn't move, didn't react, just stood there. Then slowly it tilted its head, the same way the one behind us had, and then it stepped forward. My instincts kicked in. I slammed the gas. The car shot forward. For a split second I thought I was going to hit it, but at the last possible moment it moved, not stepping out of the way, not jumping. It folded. Its body bent unnaturally, collapsing sideways in a way no human body could, and then it was gone. I didn't look back. I couldn't. We kept driving, faster now. My hands were numb, my vision tunneled. All I could focus on was the road, the faint lines, the darkness. Then the man behind me spoke again, quieter this time. "You're lucky." I swallowed hard. "Lucky? They usually don't let people leave." My stomach dropped. "What do you mean, usually?" He didn't answer right away. Then he said, "They pick who they want." That didn't make sense. "Why me?" Another pause. "Then they didn't pick you." A chill ran down my spine. "Then who?" I stopped. Slowly, very slowly, I looked in the rearview mirror. And for the first time he was smiling, not wide, not exaggerated, just enough. And his eyes weren't looking scared anymore. They were calm, too calm. "You did," he said. My heart dropped. "What?" His voice stayed low, steady. "You accepted the ride." The meaning hit me instantly. "No," I whispered, but deep down I already knew. Then he leaned back in his seat, completely relaxed, and said something that made everything worse. "Now they know what you look like." The fog ahead thickened again. The road stretched endlessly forward, and suddenly I wasn't sure anymore if I was driving him somewhere, or if he had just brought them to me. For a few seconds I couldn't breathe. My mind kept replaying what he just said. "Now they know what you look like." No, that's not how this works," I said, my voice shaking despite trying to control it. "You requested the ride, you got in my car, this has nothing to do with me." He didn't respond right away, just sat there, calm, watching. Then he said something that made my grip tighten painfully on the steering wheel. "You think this is the first time?" I swallowed hard. "What? You think you're the first driver to come out here?" The road stretched on in front of me, empty and silent, but now it didn't feel empty, it felt watched. My thoughts started racing. The second ride request, the same pickup location. The empty warehouse, the way he had been waiting in the shadows instead of at the door. "You've done this before," I said slowly. A faint smile returned. "I don't drive, that wasn't what I meant. You bring people out here." He didn't deny it. Instead, he leaned his head slightly back against the seat and closed his eyes for a moment, like he was thinking, or remembering. "They don't come for everyone," he said quietly. "Some people drive through here and nothing happens." "Then why me?" I snapped. His eyes opened again. And this time there was something different in them, something darker. "Because you stopped." My stomach dropped. "You turned off the lights," he continued. "You listened." I had a gun pointed at me, I shouted. He didn't react, didn't flinch. "They needed to see your face," he said, "and now they have." A cold wave ran through my entire body. The road ahead curved slightly, leading deeper into the fog. I realized something then. I hadn't seen a single sign, no street names, no landmarks, nothing. "Where the hell am I even going?" I muttered. He leaned forward slightly, close enough for me to feel his presence again. "Take the next right," I frowned. "There's no road." Then I saw it. A narrow turn, barely visible, almost hidden. If he hadn't said anything, I would have driven right past it. "No," I said immediately. "I'm not going down some random road in the middle of nowhere." His voice dropped, lower, colder. "You don't really have a choice anymore." My heart started pounding again. "I do, actually." I pressed harder on the gas. The car sped forward, ignoring the turn. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the engine stuttered just once, then again. "What the hell?" I muttered. The dashboard lights flickered slightly. "No, no, no," I said under my breath, tapping the steering wheel instinctively like that would help. "Turn the car," he said calmly. "I'm not." The engine cut for a split second. The car jerked. My heart jumped into my throat. "Turn the car." I clenched my jaw. "This is insane." The headlights flickered, then dimmed. And outside I saw movement again, shapes multiple in the fog, standing just off the road, watching. My breath caught. They weren't chasing anymore, they were waiting. And they were everywhere. Slowly, very slowly, I turned the wheel. The car rolled onto the narrow road. The moment I did, the engine stabilized. The lights stopped flickering. Everything went quiet again. My chest rose and fell rapidly. I didn't say anything. I didn't want to, because deep down I already knew. I wasn't choosing the route anymore, he was. And whatever was out there was guiding us. The road we were on now was worse. Narrower, no lines, no signs, just a thin strip of asphalt cutting through trees and fog. "How much farther?" I asked quietly. He looked out the window this time. For the first time since getting in the car. "Not far." That didn't make me feel better. Minutes passed, or at least I think they did. Time felt strange now, stretched, distorted. Then I saw something ahead. Lights, dim yellow, flickering. My chest tightened. "What is that?" He didn't answer immediately. As we got closer, the shape became clearer. A building, old, rundown, looked like some kind of roadside structure, maybe a gas station or a diner or something in between. Except there were no signs, no branding, no cars, just lights. "Stop here," he said. My hands tightened again. "I'm not getting out. You don't have to." "Then why are we stopping?" He leaned forward one last time, and this time his voice was almost a whisper. "Because this is where I get out." Something about that didn't sit right. "Not even a little." "Then get out," I said quickly, but I didn't stop the car yet. "Stop the car," he repeated. I hesitated. Then I noticed something in the side mirror. Movement, coming out of the trees, more shapes, slowly approaching the road. My heart dropped. "Stop the car," he said again. This time I didn't argue, I hit the brakes. The car came to a slow stop in front of the building. The engine idled quietly. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the back door opened. He stepped out, and before closing it, he leaned down slightly and said one final thing. "Don't come back this way." Then he shut the door. I didn't wait. I didn't say anything. I slammed the gas. The car sped forward, but as I drove past the building, I made a mistake. I looked inside. Through the dirty, cracked window, and what I saw made my blood run cold. There were people inside, or at least they looked like people, standing perfectly still, all facing the door, waiting for someone. And as I drove past, every single one of them slowly turned their heads toward me. I didn't stop looking right away. I should have, but something about the way they moved, it locked my attention in place. Their heads didn't turn naturally, not smoothly, not like normal people. It was slow but uneven, like something was forcing the movement instead of controlling it. And their eyes, even through the dirty glass, even in the dim light, I could see them. They weren't blinking. The moment my brain fully processed that, I snapped my eyes back to the road. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like it was shaking my entire body. Just keep driving," I whispered to myself. The road ahead stretched into darkness again, but something had changed. The fog wasn't just ahead anymore. It was behind me too. I checked the rearview mirror. The building was gone, just gone. No lights, no structure. No road leading back to it, like it had never been there. What the hell? I breathed. I slowed down slightly, trying to process what I had just seen, trying to make sense of it. Then my phone buzzed. I flinched so hard I nearly swerved. I glanced down quickly. New ride request from the same location. My stomach dropped. No, I declined it immediately, but before I could even look back up, another one came in. Same place. Decline, another. Decline, again, decline. My phone kept vibrating in my hand over and over like something was desperate for me to accept. I threw it onto the passenger seat. I'm done with this. Then the screen lit up again, not a request this time, a message from the same rider. My chest tightened as I picked up the phone slowly. The message read, "You passed us." My hands started shaking. Another message came in. "You weren't supposed to leave." I felt something cold crawl up my spine. "I dropped you off," I whispered, even though he wasn't in the car anymore. Then one more message, "We're still here." My heart nearly stopped. I looked up, and that's when I saw it, a figure, standing in the middle of the road, exactly like before, tall, thin, wrong. But this time it wasn't far away, it was close, too close. I slammed the brakes again. The car screeched slightly as it slowed down. No, the figure didn't move. Then another one stepped out from the side, and another, and another. They weren't chasing anymore. They were forming a line, blocking the road completely. My breathing became shallow, rapid. "What do you want from me?" I shouted, even though I knew they couldn't or wouldn't answer. Then my phone buzzed again. I looked down, turn around. I clenched my jaw. "I'm not going back." Another message, "You have to." My hands tightened on the wheel. No, silence. Then every single one of the figures ahead took one step forward at the same time. My heart dropped. Another message, "Or we come to you." That was it. That was the moment something inside me broke. I slammed the car into reverse. The tires screeched slightly as I backed up hard. Then I spun the wheel and turned the car around as fast as I could. I didn't care anymore. I didn't care where I was going. I just needed to get away. The car sped down the road in the opposite direction. I didn't look back. I didn't slow down. But after a few seconds, I realized something. The road behind me wasn't the same. There was no turn, no path back, just more road. More trees, more fog. No, that's not possible. I drove faster, looking for anything familiar, anything that made sense. Nothing. Then my phone buzzed again. I didn't want to check it. I really didn't, but I did. Wrong way. My hands went cold. Another message, "You're already in." A chill ran through my entire body. "What does that mean?" I whispered. Then the radio turned on by itself. Static filled the car, loud, sharp. I reached for the knob, but before I could turn it off, the static changed into something else, breathing, heavy, slow. And then a voice, low, distorted, "We can see you." I slammed the radio off. Silence returned instantly, but it didn't feel like silence anymore. It felt like something was listening, watching, waiting. Then I noticed something in the rearview mirror. At first I thought it was just the fog, but then it moved. A shape, running, not behind me, beside me, keeping pace with the car. And then another one appeared on the other side, matching speed. My heart felt like it was going to explode. "They're not chasing," I whispered. "They're guiding." The realization hit me all at once. I wasn't escaping, I was being led somewhere. And no matter which way I turned, I wasn't getting out. My foot stayed pressed hard on the gas. The engine whined, pushing the car faster, but it didn't matter. Because no matter how fast I went, they stayed with me, on both sides, matching me perfectly. I could see them now, not clearly, but enough. Their limbs were too long, too thin, bending at angles that didn't make sense. And their heads were tilted in different directions, like each one was trying to look at me from a different angle at the same time. I forced my eyes back to the road. "I'm not stopping," I said out loud. "I don't care what happens, I'm not stopping." But deep down I already knew, this wasn't about stopping anymore. This was about where they wanted me to go. The road began to change. At first it was subtle. The asphalt got rougher, cracked, uneven. Then the lines disappeared completely. Then the road narrowed. Trees closed in tighter on both sides. Their branches stretched over the road, blocking out what little sky there was. It felt like driving through a tunnel made of trees. The fog thickened again, and the shapes beside me got closer. I could see them more clearly now. Their skin, if it even was skin, looked stretched, too tight in some places, too loose in others. And their movements, they didn't run, they shifted, like they weren't bound to the ground the same way I was. I gripped the wheel tighter. "I'm not going where you want me to go." The road curved sharply. I followed it without thinking. Then the car jerked slightly. My stomach dropped. The fuel light came on. No, 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 I hadn't checked it earlier, I hadn't even thought about it. I was too focused on everything else. How far does this road even go? I muttered. The shapes didn't react, didn't speed up, didn't slow down, they just stayed with me, guiding. Then up ahead I saw something, lights not like before, these were dimmer, flickering, more spread out. My heart sank. No, not again. As I got closer, the shapes beside me began to slow. One by one, they drifted back into the fog, until I was alone again, completely alone. I didn't slow down, I didn't trust it, but the road ahead became clearer, and then I saw it, the same building. Or at least it looked like the same one. Old, rundown, lights flickering, but this time there were more lights around it and more shapes standing outside. My chest tightened. No, no, I'm not stopping, but the car began to slow on its own. I pressed the gas harder, nothing. The engine struggled, the fuel gauge dropped, and then the car rolled to a stop right in front of the building. The engine died, complete silence. I stared straight ahead, frozen. No, this isn't happening. Then my phone buzzed one last time. I didn't want to look, but I did. End of the ride. My hands started shaking uncontrollably. Please, just let me go, I whispered. Then the car door behind me creaked open. My heart stopped. Slowly, I turned my head. The back seat was empty, but the door was open, and something was standing outside it, tall. Still waiting, then another shape appeared at my window, then another. They were surrounding the car, not rushing, not attacking, just waiting, like they knew I had nowhere left to go. Then a knock, soft, on my driver's side window. I didn't move, I didn't breathe. Another knock. Slower this time, and then a voice, not from the radio, not from my phone, from outside right next to me. You finished the ride. My entire body went cold. Now get out. I squeezed my eyes shut, shaking my head. No, 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 the voice came again. Closer this time. You accepted. My heart pounded in my ears. You drove. The handle on my door moved slowly. Now you stay. Something inside me snapped. No, I shouted. I threw the car into neutral, turned the key again. Nothing again, nothing. My breathing became frantic. Then suddenly the engine roared to life. I didn't think. I slammed the gas. The car shot forward and something hit the side of it hard. I didn't stop. I didn't look. I just drove through the fog, through the darkness. Through whatever was in front of me. I didn't care anymore. I just needed to get out. And somehow, after what felt like forever, I saw it. Streetlights, real ones, bright, clear. The road widened. The fog thinned. And just like that, everything was gone. No shapes, no building. No voices, just a normal road. I didn't slow down until I hit the main highway. And even then I kept checking the mirrors. But there was nothing there, nothing at all, except one thing. My phone, still sitting on the passenger seat, screen lit up with a final message. We know your route now. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw them again. Standing, watching, moving the way nothing human should ever move. I stayed parked under the glow of a gas station light, engine still running, just in case I needed to leave again. But deep down, I knew something had changed. This wasn't just a random night anymore. This wasn't just some isolated, terrifying encounter. Something had marked me. My hands were still shaking as I checked my phone again. No new messages, no ride requests, nothing, just silence. That should have made me feel better, but it didn't, because silence felt worse. It felt like waiting, like something was still watching, just not reaching out. I checked my mirrors one more time, nothing behind me, just empty road. I took a slow breath. Okay, you're fine, you got out, I tried to convince myself, but my eyes kept drifting back to the passenger seat, where it all began, the same place. The same moment I accepted the ride. I leaned over and picked up my phone, scrolling through the app, looking at my ride history. My heart slowed. There it was, the trip, marked as completed from that location to nothing. The destination field was blank. My chest tightened. What does that mean? I tapped the details. Nothing loaded, no address, no route, just a single line of text. Route completed. I frowned, then the app refreshed on its own. I didn't touch anything, it just changed. A new trip appeared, not from earlier. Not from that night, but from right now. My breath caught in my throat. The pickup location was where I was sitting, right here, right now. No way. I looked up slowly, out the windshield, empty, then a flicker. In the reflection of the glass, behind me, I froze. Not moving, not breathing, because I knew, if I turned around, I might not like what I see. My phone buzzed. One final time. I didn't want to look, but I did. New ride available. I swallowed hard. My fingers hovered over the screen, my mind racing. Don't accept it, I whispered. Don't accept it, but my finger moved anyway, slow, uncontrollable, hovering over the button. Decline, just decline. Then the screen flickered and the button changed. It wasn't a choice anymore. There was only one option, except my heart dropped. No, and then the screen glitched for just a second, and I saw it, behind the text. A reflection, not mine, something standing behind me right at the back door. My breath stopped. My hand froze midair. Everything went silent, too silent. Then a knock, slow, from behind me. I didn't move. Another knock, closer this time. Then a voice, soft, right next to my ear. "We're here to finish the ride." My blood ran cold. I couldn't breathe, couldn't move, couldn't think. The door handle slowly turned. And in that moment, I realized something. This wasn't about escaping. This was about completing something. A ride that never ended. A journey that didn't belong to me anymore. I closed my eyes tightly, bracing for whatever came next. And in the distance, somewhere far behind me, I heard it. Another car door opening, then another, and then silence. Complete, absolute, final silence. I never opened my eyes again. If you are new here, subscribe to Tales of the Dark, where every story gives you a nightmare.